Nation. Ooh, we went to try and go live again and almost ended the broadcast before it even started. That would have been a nightmare to set back up again. Hello to James, hola to Jack, oi oi to Cam, and oh hi to Danica. We are live with Pulse of the Nation, as we are every week, every Monday at 7 p.m, not 8 p.m, as I tweeted out. I'll take as Joe very kindly, my guest today, retweeted and excused my own failing. I tweeted at saying it's an 8 p.m. show, not an 8 p.m. show, it's a 7 p.m. show. It ends at 8 p.m. But it's because I took a Twitter break and I've forgotten how to Twitter, although I did make the same typo on Facebook, so it's not really a worthwhile excuse. But welcome to the show. This is the penultimate show of this series, maybe the penultimate show of the whole thing. Who knows? Well, I've got an idea. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. We'll talk about the future of Pulse of the Nation, the future of general live streaming here on the channel. We got 5 viewers, 4 on that can't be right. Those stats can't be right, because we've got some lovely YouTube friends here, and my stats are telling me that all our viewers are on Facebook. There we go. It's slowly going up now. There might be a delay in going live. Don't talk about admin on the show, Andrew. It's not interesting. Anyway, Pulse of the Nation. This is series 2. Oh god, I need to edit that. This is series 2, episode 7. There we go. It's episode 7. There are 8 episodes in this series. We go through to the end of July. Last series, as you may remember, was only 6 episodes. So you're getting 2 more episodes, more bang for your buck. And as is normally the case on every episode, we have 3 questions. But today we have 4 questions. So not only have we done more episodes than we did last series, this is the first episode where we're doing a 4-question special. I mean, it doesn't get much. I mean, it gets a lot better than that. But you know, we're giving you some bang for your non-existent buck. This is going out for free. Anyway, I was going to man the desk solo today, and just see how it goes. I have a bit of fun, and I thought, oh no, I kind of got just about a day or 2 before, and I thought, oh no, I do want a guest. I want. Part of the reason I do this is I get to hang out with my friends and talk about these silly issues. So I would happen to be on a FaceTime call with Danica, last week's guest, and I thought, oh, you know who'll be a good guest? The one and only, Joe Wells. Hello, Joe Wells.
Hello.
Welcome to the stream.
Thank you. You're
How are you doing?
outside of it being a live streamed comedy show. You don't have to. This isn't the only way you can make contact with me.
Oh no, that's the only reason I had you on, because I didn't think you'd back me otherwise.
No, we can talk afterwards. I'm sorry that you feel that way, Andrew.
That's all right. That's not your issue. That's me thinking that the only reason any friend would ever want to interact with me is if I got them as a guest on my weekly phone-in debate show.
You're very loved.
Thank you. That's very nice. So how I like your lighting. We talked about this earlier. My lighting is very
violent, and people won't appreciate this because they don't know how ugly I am IRL. But this lighting is very fetching on me, isn't it? But like absolutely passable.
I'd say you're passable. That sounds. I'm trying to use your own words, but it came across as an insult. I'd say you're passable anyway.
But it's beautiful.
It is really good lighting.
Usually, I'm a bit troll-like.
Well, how would you? What is your lighting setup? I mean, we can see the light behind you. What's your front-facing light? I'm
looking out the window. That's it.
Natural light is good. Whenever I film like vlogs, I normally use that window to get a bit of natural light. We've got some comments coming in. James says this is bananas because we've got 4 questions today. Jack says that's not Joe Wells, that's Henry Futcher, as heard from previous Pulse of the Nation episodes. So this is your second appearance of Pulse of the Nation, and you call in quite a bit, and then one week Henry Futcher pretended to be you and you pretended to be Henry, and it all got a bit mixed up. But you are. Let's quell this rumor here.
I do hope that he's going to call in today, though.
He is. He said he'd not be able to tune in until the last 10 minutes because he's watching the football.
I hope he does, and then he does one of his characters.
Yeah, we all want wacky characters. Previously, we've had Dominic Raab, we've had Mr. Whippy, all sorts. Danica, your wife says you are glowing, Joe.
Thank you. She's biased, isn't she? She's got something wrong with her, but she finds me attractive.
Yes, I mean, no, you're attractive anyway. So
What What character would you want? Who do you want to phone in the last 10 minutes when Henry sometimes phones in as characters? Who would you? Who would be your dream phone in?
I don't know. He's told me that he's already prepared a character. He's already got an idea of who he's going to do.
He doesn't do requests, does he?
I mean, you probably could just DM everyone. We follow each other on Twitter. Give him a DM.
Yeah, who do we want? Who would be the most offensive?
You know what? He quite regularly does an impression of who's the? I can remember his girlfriend's name, but I can't remember his name. Oscar Pistorius. Oscar.
Oh yeah. Let Gam see that, but Gam cancelled. They probably cancelled us for requesting it, wouldn't they?
I think he's tweeted worse stuff than his Oscar Pistorius impression, and he's not been cancelled yet. I'm being very ballsy in my slagging off of Henry, just because I know he's not watching. He might watch if you're watching this back, hello Henry. So your second appearance on Pulse of the Nation, Joe. What are you expecting from today's show?
I'm expecting 4 discussion points around meal deals and the supermarkets they are bought from.
Perfect transition to get into our first question. Where do you get your meal deal? So you go and you need a little snack. You need a kind of midday lunch. Where are you going to get your meal deal?
So I'm glad that you've rephrased the question as to what it was online, because I was going to have a slightly controversial answer, but now it's no longer controversial. Because you said which supermarket on Twitter, and now you've just said where do you get it from? I'm going to say Boots.
We did have 2 other tweets. Alex Kitson said Boots, and Susie Bennett said Boots as well. Now, I think that is controversial still. I wouldn't consider a Boots a meal deal supplier, but state the case for me.
Go into Boots and there'll be a big sign up saying meal deal. £3.29 it is now. Used to be £2.99, but then Tories got in.
Bloody Tories. So what is so good about Boots? Why are you putting Boots forward as the bet? Sanj agrees with you. Sanj says Boots. Cam says Tesco or Boots at a push, and Jack says Sainsbury's has some of the worst variety of meal deals, which is that nobody has said Sainsbury's. In our pre-show comments, in my general discussions, nobody's ever said Sainsbury's, but we have 2 comments for Boots here. So state the case for Boots.
Reasons why?
Yeah.
Number 1, they have healthy options, which is good. Number 2, they have good vegetarian options that aren't just cheese and onion. Number 3, there's none of this bullshit where there's like a nice one, and then they go, well, that's not the meal deal because it's too nice. None of that. 3, no, that's done 3. 4, and they're all like little things from like little independent suppliers, and you get like brands you haven't heard of elsewhere. You know, it's not just Walker's crisps. There's interesting, unique crisps. They do a thing that's like a dried sugar snap tea. It's all like it looks like sugar snap tea, but it's all like made of crisps. It's incredible.
That I'll tell you, I've only been to Boots once. I'll tell you that in a minute. But you did make it
Boots once,
as in for a meal deal. I've been to Boots
You've really been on other occasions for toilet.
So Susie,
no, even as a meal deal, I'm finding that hard to. I mean, you're a gigging comedian going into what station do you go into in London? Oh, this is gripping, isn't it? This is exciting. What station do you go to when you go to London?
I normally come into Waterloo.
So you go to Waterloo Station. You've only ever once got the Boots meal deal.
Only once.
So where are you going in Waterloo for your dinner on the way home?
Somebody else said this, and I think I'm going to really out myself as a bit of a posho. It was M&S, but in my defence, it's because it's the most. I've not explored Waterloo.
I didn't. Don't apologise. I go to M&S too. I think it's brilliant.
Okay, good. Because
I would also sometimes dip into Boots meal deal.
Alex says Joe's talking some real truths here. Alex was another person on Twitter that was very supportive of the Boots meal deal. A lot of people said there was good variety in Boots. Like Susie said, you can get sushi and stuff like that. So you're defending Boots. Well, let's have a quick look.
And they do a small thing of sushi as a snack. Now, in a lot of other supermarkets, that would be a main. Boots, that's a snack, and I think that shows that they really respect their customers.
I'm hearing a lot of positive for Boots. Not many people have put forward other options. Not even on Twitter, really. I said M&S earlier, someone mentioned it, but they didn't say it was their favourite. It just said that's the one they most regularly go to. Cam says Sainsbury's are trash. So I think we can all agree Sainsbury's are the worst.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
They do the thing that you were complaining about, that only 4 of their 30 sandwich selections are in the meal deal, and that is horrendous, isn't it? If you got
another thing which annoys me is when they will scam you with a sandwich which is otherwise very cheap being in the meal deal. For example, cheese and onion sandwich is usually like £1.10. So you could even end up getting into the meal deal would be more, so you get it cheaper than the meal deal just buying them separately in some other places. They wouldn't do that at Boots.
Yeah, Boots are the meal deal of the people. I say we did have one, and I thought this was a bit. I was not off, but I wouldn't go to it as a regular. But Stuart Gray on Twitter said co-op meal deal.
I'm going to come on. Can we come on to that later, because they do a sweet, which I think is a cut above any other sweet.
So we'll come back to that for the snack section of the show.
But other than that, I do agree on the co-op.
Jack says Tesco has amazing variety. Now I have to admit, Tesco would be my go-to for a meal deal, particularly because when I was walking in between. So when I went to sixth form, it was between a girls' school and a boys' school, and you had to walk between them. And the supermarket on the walk was a Tesco, so I'd get a Tesco meal deal. And Cal Stewart on Twitter also said Tesco. What would do you have any? Do you like a Tesco meal deal?
It's the what was an analogy? It's like the Samsung of meal deals, isn't it? Like you don't hate it, but it's not. Boots is the iPhone, and it's good. They're not, it's not Sainsbury's, but it's also it's no Boots or M&S.
So are you saying if Boots was the iPhone, that their products are made by cheap Chinese labor using cobalt mined in unethical African places? Because that's what it sounds like.
I'm saying that, and if Boots disagree with me, then they can sue me.
They can sue you for libel. We often have breaking news here on Pulsar Nation, and the breaking news.
He'd phone up Howard, the head of Boots, one day. I miss him.
Yeah,
I was being joking at the start, but I miss his little calls.
Breaking: Boots use child labor. I'm just going to put that on screen, and I kind of don't care about the consequences. I think
there's got to be some. I mean, everything's got child labour in it, hasn't it? I don't mean to be defeatist about it. I don't think there's many shops that don't have any child labour at all in them. So I'm sure there's been a little bit of child labour. Even if it's like a teenager doing a Saturday job, I'm sure I can substantiate that claim somehow.
It's just a little bit of child labour. What's wrong with that? Everyone has a bit of child labour.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Oh dear, it's genuinely horrific though. We just to be. I mean, I can't speak
we are taking an anti-child labour. I'm against it.
Me too. Not enough people are saying that.
No,
I think child labour is bad. Jack says there's not enough Boots around here, so Tesco is the reliable option.
Where do you live, Jack? That's what I want to know.
In Scotland. I think in Edinburgh. But I'll let Jack clarify.
Scotland's got better food. We've got loads of other better. If you're living in Edinburgh, you don't want to be going to any chain shops, really. There is a Boots, there's one on Princes Street, and they do the Boots meal deal. But generally, I'd go. There used to be. Did you ever go to? There was like a kind of knockoff Subway thing. There used to be like a chain in Scotland and the north of England. It's called like Deli Express or something like that. Something kind of really nothing, and it was brilliant. It was like Subway, but it had so many different options for rolls and things. It was wonderful. If Jack can tell me what that it was, like a chain that it was like a kind of cheap kind of knockoff Subway chain, but it was absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
So let us know if you know what the name of that knockoff Subway chain is in the north of England and Scotland. Jack, it does indeed live in Edinburgh. Cam says Tesco's are everywhere and they have a big variety and consistent, decent meal deal options. So in terms of widespreadness, I think maybe Tesco is going to be more reliable than having to find a Boots. What would you say? Alison says co-op all the way.
That's not the question. The question isn't which meal deal is most accessible. The question is which is the best. I'm not doubting. The Tesco is definitely the most accessible, maybe Co-op.
Yeah.
Is it the best? No.
Okay. Well, Alison says Co-op with a little winky face because not to give away too many.
It knows about the sweet that they do.
I know it's because she has an affiliation with Co-op. But I'm interested to hear about the sweet. We'll move on to the snack in a minute.
That's right.
This comment, and I'll tell you the story about my Boots meal deal. My father says, I don't know why. My dad says, I never know how to report him. If Boots is the iPhone of snacks, do they also make you have an account you don't want and put snacks in your basket you didn't choose? Ooh, it's extending.
I feel like the analogy I made wasn't strong enough. You're right, because what's a good phone? They're all quite bad, aren't they? Maybe it's not Huawei. I don't know what. I'll think of another analogy. Okay, so if it was like a car, I don't know much about cars, but like Tesco would be like a Ford Fiesta, like a reliable car, and then Boots is like a Ferrari.
There we go. Boots is a Ferrari. So that's that's a bold claim. I'm going to put that out there. And to end the segment, we're agreeing Boots is the best, Tesco the most accessible, Sainsbury's the worst. My Boots story was, I think this is the most me story I could probably share. I was at a Saturday debating competition with school. And we had to look after the other debaters because they were coming to our school. And there was a cute boy named Jonah, and he always got a Boots meal deal at home. So I had to walk into Boots in Salisbury, and I didn't want to be like, I'm going to go to a different deal. So I bought a Boots meal deal so I could get a meal deal and eat with him. And then I couldn't find him on Facebook afterwards. So that's Boots experience. But let that not detract. Like I can't even speak. Let that not detract from the fact that Boots does the best meal deal. As we move on to question 2, your meal deal snack. Now I know you're quite keen to push a certain sweet on us. Please, pray tell.
Okay.
Go Wells.
Co-op stores. Usually you're going to, and you've got to pick a snack. You want a sweet thing. You got to pick a cookie or a brownie. That's a difficult decision to make. Co-op. Do a brookie, half brownie, half cookie. It is the best thing I've ever eaten in my life because it's like cookie dough on top of a brownie. It's absolutely beautiful.
That does sound really good. I'm surprised I've not had that. That's at the Co-op. It's called a brookie.
A brookie, half brownie, half cookie.
Speaking of half kind of pastry snacky things, I had a croissant the other day. A croissant
too, aren't they?
Yeah, and they were. It was in a box. I don't know why it was in a cardboard box, and it had really thick chocolate layering, and then a really thick caramel sauce. And I don't know how much of the actual croissant I got compared to just taking in loads of sugar, but it was nice. But
you were more upset about it being in a box there than you should have been. I don't want to be critical.
I don't know. It was just a really weird packaging, and it was like a box, and it had a hole on the top so you could see the croissant. But then there wasn't any plastic in the hole, so it was just kind of like an open box. And it's just like, I don't want to buy a snack from an open box.
How would you want it to be? Well, what would you want it to be like?
I mean, I can see why they don't want plastic, and I support that. And just to add to our child labour stance, we are pro the environment. We're anti-child labour, pro the environment. I don't know. It just covered the box. I would have rather had a complete box. I didn't trust.
I don't know what the croissant looks like.
But put a picture on the box.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I just thought it was weird.
Works in Co-op that could take those ideas. You see that happening in Co-op. You know that Alison has stolen your idea.
Yeah, she's fed it back up all the way, up the chain.
What is Alison's role in Co-op? Is she like behind the checker, or is she in management, or is she? What's her position?
I'm not 100% sure, actually.
Okay, is she in a position of influence on the croissant packaging? That is my question.
I'd imagine not. I imagine that's a chain of command that is separate to Alison's role. From the vague details I know.
Head of croissants.
Not head of croissants. No, I don't know if that's a role. If that is a role at Co-op, you see advertised ahead of croissants, please let us know.
Yeah.
Aidan agrees. You want that in a closed box. You want a croissant in a closed box. Thank you. Danica said we had cronuts. So have you had a cronut before?
No, we've had cruffins.
Cruffins, croissant muffins.
Yes, like a muffin shape made out of kind of. It's not really croissant. It's like a. So it's a pastry that's closer to a croissant than anything else, but it doesn't really resemble a croissant. I see why they've called it a cruffin. They are brilliant. I don't think we have had cronuts, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe Danica.
Cronuts with another man, and she just outed herself and her affair.
Oh, Danica's having a snack affair. Here we go. Alison says post office Co-op. Thank you, Alison, for clarifying. I feel almost ashamed that I didn't fully know.
That's two different. That doesn't answer any questions at all. Oh, she works in the post office bit in a Co-op.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I understand.
What did you think was going on?
I forgot that you had the hybrid stores.
Yes.
I thought they were two separate businesses.
Alison is in that hybrid store. Thank you for joining us, by the way, Alison. It's nice to see you. Cam says the snack is the least important part of the meal deal, in my opinion. I'll take whatever crisps are going, but I keep a lookout for Quavers, Kettle Crisps, or Hula Hoops. So we've mainly discussed sweets so far. There's two things to address here. Number one, is the snack the least important part of the meal deal? And number two, are we going for crisps or sweets?
Number one, no. I think it's an important part. Mm-hmm. Number two, and I don't want to show off here, but my career is going pretty well. So sometimes, if I've just been in London making some dollar doing my comedy, I'll go into Boots and additionally, so I'll buy a sweet and additionally I'll buy some crisps. Have a kind of mega meal deal.
Ooh, Joe is expanding the meal deal beyond its parameters. What a rebel. Alison just added to the conversation saying she works opposite the bakery, so there may yet be a link to the croissant chain of command.
Yes. When someone comes in to do the croissants, she should tell him and report back.
That's how we want our croissants.
I mean, I don't want them in a closed, but I like the idea of them being open.
You really? Why? Why is that? Especially in the time of Corona, why do you want an open box?
I think. Okay, obviously during the time of Corona, we've got to be careful with them. So maybe as a temporary measure, we have closed boxes. But I think generally it's good to have a little bit of germs. But you know, like it's not good to wrap yourself in cotton wool too much. And I think it's good to be able to see what you're getting. It's a little bit less packaging. I like that. I think that's nice. It shows you they're fresh.
I suppose, yeah. I did think that was because when you
get like a French stick and it's like sticking out the top of the envelope a bit, that is unhygienic and kind of frustrating in a way, but also quite like the way it sticks out of it. It feels a bit continental.
You got kind of a romanticized view of open packaging bakery products.
Certainly, you get what I'm saying with like a French stick, don't you? And that's a kind of romanticized.
It's all Parisian.
And having it kind of poked out the top a bit, it's like they've it's been in a bakery and they've just put it in and given it to you. And I see that up here with the cronut too.
Well, yeah, okay, fair enough. You made a good case. Today is clearly the
day as well. You could try and eat the cronut without opening the box.
Oh, that wouldn't be possible. That wouldn't be
through the little hole.
It's because it's not a whole hole. It's a whole kind of. It's got a middle cardboard bit, but there's like a kind of a moat, a moat opening, if that makes sense.
Define a whole hole.
So let me draw a picture. Okay. So you've got
there's two holes.
Yeah, sort of. It looks like.
If you're joining us now, Andrew is drawing a cronut hole.
It's kind of that.
Oh, okay. Like it looks like kind of like a parenthesis.
Yeah, and that the bit I've just very badly coloured in is the hole.
Okay, that would be hard to read through. I understand.
You call it a cronut, as Danica did earlier, and I think that is a better name. But the packaging did say croissant.
Croissant. Yeah, cronut is better, isn't that?
It really is. We've got some today's.
You pass that on as well to when the grown-up man or woman comes in. I don't think I am assuming that only men can manage grown-ups. Could you suggest that they're called grown-ups and they are in boxes, please?
Yes, that's the message we want to get. That's the main message of the show: is rename cronuts, save the environment, and stop child labour. There's three mantras of Pulse of the Nation. I'm sorry, I really wanted to come to this just because it seems to be a show of very strained analogies today. No offense, Jack, but he has said the snack is like an accent on a foreign letter, where the letter is the meal. Best snack depends on the meal.
Oh, that is a good point, isn't it? Yeah.
You do have to kind of partner your meal with your snack. I see what you're saying. I do like the analogy.
Imagine, I'm just saying this to be shocking now, right? But imagine if someone went into Boots and they bought like the 3-bean chili wrap, and then as their snack they had some vegan sushi. Imagine how horrible that would be.
That's not real, is it?
You want Doritos, something like that to match it.
That's not going on. I totally agree. That's very Plemicist of you, though, and I appreciate the drama on the show. James says, I'm entirely lost, but I'll go savoury over sweet in general. So do you have meal deals in Canada, James? That's a question. Because basically here in the UK, lots of supermarket, pretty much every supermarket chain has a meal deal. So there's a kind of open fridge section and you can get sandwiches or little pasta pots, and then you get a snack like a packet of crisps or a chocolate bar or something, and then you get a drink as well, and you buy 3 items and that's your meal deal, and it normally costs £3, £5, £4.99. Danica said earlier that Lidl did a 99p meal deal. What was included?
I remember that, yeah.
What was included in that? I want to know.
Like a sandwich, sandwich crisps, and I think it was like a bottle of water. I don't think it was any drink. I do remember that.
No, that's strange. I didn't even know about that. Aidan says all aspects of the meal deal in the traditional sandwich snack drink formation, not in your kind of rogue, I'm going to add something else on way, are equally important. So I think that's a fair point. I think the drink, because if I'm having a chocolate milk for a drink, I'm going to get a packet of crisps. Obviously, I don't want to get a chocolate bar and a chocolate milk. That's too much chocolate.
Yeah, you're not a lunatic.
So I think Aidan makes a very good point. All aspects of the meal deal do really add up. Cam is not disputing that the snack is important. It wouldn't be a meal deal without it. But the main is the star of the show, and the drink is more important, because otherwise you'd have a dry lunch. What do you respond to that?
Oh, if I was going to lose something from the meal deal, I'd lose the snack. Yeah, I think that's disputable. I think I feel less passionate about the drink, if I'm honest. Although I think if you pick a bottle of water, then you are scum.
Oh yeah, you can't have a bottle of water with your meal deal. That's ridiculous. Charlotte says late to the game today, but the only correct answer to this is Boots. Yes, welcome to the show, Charlotte. Thank you for joining us. I don't know how much you saw of the previous question, but we all agreed that Boots was the best meal deal. And then, a lot of disdain for Sainsbury's. Boots has the biggest range, wraps, best pasta, and best snack range. Well, the best snack, as Joe Wells will tell you, is the brookie from Co-op.
Although I should say that during this period, I have taught myself to like olives, and I know that Boots do a little pot of olives. So I'm so excited. I've opened up a new food for myself just by forcing myself to eat like 3 or 4 olives. Now I love them. And my favourite snack may change when I go back to meal deal. That's got to be one of the things that's really dipped in popularity, isn't it? The meal deal during lockdown.
Yeah, I don't imagine many people are being meal deal purchasers.
Getting a meal deal to eat at home.
Yeah,
Just
make yourself a sandwich, mate. So you basically stopped.
I was running like a TV, like a script or something, and I wanted to kind of telegraph that. Can you hear me? Okay,
yeah, you sound good.
Okay, it's not breaking up. But I wanted to kind of telegraph that someone was like a serial killer or something like that. Opening scene, I'd have them eating a Boots meal deal on a plate at home. And you go, oh, they're the murderer, yeah.
Oh, there's something wrong with them. So, so quickly to go back to the olives, you basically Stockholm syndromed your taste buds.
Yeah.
And how you like olives. To be fair,
I recommend it to anyone who doesn't like olives. Just get 5 olives and just put them in your hands and eat them. And by the end, after those 5, you will like olives.
there we go. You
can eat olives your whole life.
Yeah, olive orientation is a choice, and you can train yourself to like olives. A very controversial comment from my dad. I don't really want to bring this up because he's my father, and I think this will really embarrass the family name. But Dad has said the snack is the most important part of the meal deal. A sandwich is just a sandwich, and the drink choice is pretty wide, so it's pretty much all about the snack choices. I mean, I see his reasoning, but I cannot stand by that. I'm very sorry, Dad.
Most I think I've been more excited by snacks in my life than I have by mains. Outside of Boots, because they go like no one else with the mains. But I think that in a mainstream supermarket meal deal, I have got more things I've been excited by, like you get like a Marvelous Creation chocolate bar or something like that. It's quite exciting. Generally, certainly if you're vegetarian, the sandwich you're gonna get a cheese and onion sandwich or an egg and egg mayo sandwich. Maybe one of those like tomato pasta pots.
Yeah,
a snack can blow your mind. A good snack.
You just reminded me. I went to an engagement party once, and the vegan option was unbuttered beetroot sandwiches. They're awful. I see what you're saying. Yeah, the snack is more exciting, but if you have all your meal deal together and one item was bad, the item that would least affect your enjoyment of the meal deal is the snack. If you have a bad snack, bad snack. If you have a bad
mass, though, isn't it?
What do you mean?
In terms of what you're putting in your body, more of it is, there's more substance in the main and the drink than there is the snack.
Yeah. I suppose
if you only eat the snack and the drink, then you're going to go hungry.
Okay, I retract my denouncing myself from the family name, Dad. You've made a fair comment.
I did see in the comments your dad has said that he chooses snack based on mood, and I'm fascinated by that. And I would be interested to know which moods correlate to which snacks. Is it when you're feeling sad that you have some chocolate, or is it are there other? I'd be interested to know that, please, Mark. Which emotions correspond to which snacks?
Well, some other people said this. More on the drink selection. Cal Stewart again said that the drink would change depending on his mood. Also, to go back to Cal, he said white Twix for a snack, which I think is a strong choice. But yeah, do people have the same meal deal that they always get, or is there a particular item that they always vary? How much mood does affect your meal deal selections? Please let us know. Let's go through a few more comments. I respect the hustle, Charlotte, but if you're buying second, third, I should have put up Charlotte's comment first. So Charlotte said, get the most expensive things for the lowest price. Get a smoothie. Those things are like £2 on their own. And Susie Bennett on Twitter said you used to be able to get a £3.20 sushi in the £3 meal deal for Boots.
Wow.
However,
2 other things are throwing away if all you wanted was a sushi.
Exactly. It's baffling. I would say, though, we had a comment on Twitter from Jack who said meal deal optimizers, he doesn't understand it. Why would you go for the most expensive thing, even if it's the cheapest selection? Just get what you want.
That would be kind of like all move, wouldn't it? So if I when my rap career takes off and I've got loads of money, I'm going to go into Boots and I'm going to get the £3.20 sushi and not have it as a meal deal. Just be like, that's what I want.
That is ballsy. I respect it.
Have you ever met anyone who orders from like Domino's Pizza but doesn't get a deal or vouchers?
Oh yeah, I don't understand. Like literally, just you get.
You must have so much money. I think I'd be a multi-millionaire and I'd still get deals on.
I don't think I've ever ordered Domino's and not gone, oh, what deals do they have? What deals do they have?
Yeah, you get the deals, and if you've got loads of money spare, I'd give the driver a massive tip. Yeah.
You should tip your delivery drivers. That's coming from a Pizza Hut delivery driver. Please tip your drivers. Coming back to the Canada issue, Adrian says Canada doesn't have meal deals. fuck Canada. And James has come in on this point and says supermarket don't sell meal deals. If you don't have a drive-through, you're not selling many lunches. They do sell some prepared food, but you're on your own to bundle and no deal. So this kind of on-the-go sandwich culture is very much a British thing.
Can I ask James a question? Does he live in a city in Canada? Because I see the mill as quite a kind of metropolitan city phenomena. Because you go to work in the office all day, you nip out on your lunch break, there's a boots, you get a meal deal, you eat it here. Yes, that's how I see it. Does James live out in the sticks in Canada? Because I can imagine there's less of a meal deal demand there.
Yeah, I suppose the meal deal is really kind of the staple of the office worker, really. So yeah, where exactly? Give us your address, James. One note a day. Danica on the subject of importance said she would lose the drink from the meal deal. She thinks that's the least important part. Josh Cox has mocked you in the comments. He said, "What skills did you learn during lockdown? I can eat olives now, so that's cool."
Yeah, exactly. Some people are really olives. I've learned to eat olives.
It's cool. Co-op removed the wraps from the meal deal. Awful. I think any decent, respectable meal deal has to have a wrap option. If it's just sandwiches, get out of here.
Yes, no, and that is one of my issues with Co-op is they do quite a good 3-bean wrap, but it's not on the meal deal.
Yeah, so Co-op is.
I don't include Alison in this. I'm sure that she is. She works in the post office anyway. But the staff at Co-op do not know what's on the meal deal. So when you ask them, is this included in the meal deal? They don't know. So I don't know what decision to make.
Well, yeah, I suppose we that's not a complaint to the staff. That's a complaint to the Co-op training system.
I think that's another factor in the best supermarket is staff meal deal training.
Yeah, the people who, because there are some I've been to Tesco's before when you line everything up on the counter and the woman says, "Just so you know, that's not in the meal deal." She's caught that before. She even before she through.
Exactly.
So that's definitely an important factor. Jack says it's not about maximizing value, otherwise you're losing out on yourself. So that's come back to the meal deal optimization point. James says that he lives in
it's like a kind of moral fable, isn't it? Do you get the meal deal that you want, or do you get do you just maximize the value?
Yeah, I think I would side with Jack. Just get what you want.
The parable of the meal deal.
The parable of the meal deal. Well, this is a very biblical show, as it has always been. James says he lives in Toronto, an area of 6 million. He's given us the population stats just to slam you, Joe. It's not a city thing. It is a British thing, it turns out.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, he could. This is James could start a meal deal company. That would really. Do they not have like Is that nuts? So here's my question to James. If you're like an office worker, you go in the morning, do your morning shift in the office, and you haven't packed for lunch, you want to nip out and get something. What are your options? That is my question.
I would guess. I mean, I'll let you answer it.
Or my woman thing.
I would guess that they buy like warm food, like a McDonald's or a Subway or something. But we'll see what James thinks. We have millions. There we go. He's practically already answered it. We have a million Subways, delis, coffee shops that sell sandwiches.
Oh, but then Subways do a meal deal too.
I suppose that is a form of meal deal. Yeah,
it's not quite. There's a specific British phenomenon that was there of the main snack.
Exactly. I didn't really want to stray into like fast food stuff because then you could say like a McDonald's meal is a meal deal, but
totally. Yeah, different thing.
It is a different thing, but thank you for joining. This is I'm excited to share this new transatlantic phenomenon with you, James. And as Joe says, you can get ahead of the curve over there in Canada. Start up a meal deal company. Cam said, "You said it, bro. If you're going to spend £3, you might as well enjoy your lunch to the max. It's already a bargain." Like, I know this is a genuine comment, but it sounds like a really cringy commercial, doesn't it? You said it, bro. If you're going to spend £3, you might as well enjoy your lunch to the max. It's already a bargain. I don't know how I can correlate my mood to a snack. Sometimes I'm feeling like I want a chocolate or crisps or whatever. So not emotional mood. He just means taste, I suppose, in terms of what changes there. Alison says, I've worked there for 6 years and still don't understand the meal deal.
Huge in the meal deal training at Co-op. We're finding out.
Yeah, there's some serious co-op chain of command issues that need to be addressed. Number one, the Cressona. Number two, meal deal training, and number three, child labour. Let's put it in there again, just to reiterate, we really are anti-child labour. James says it's the supermarket.
Oh, threatening message from Cam there.
Yeah, call me cringy again. You're getting bad, you fuck.
Wow.
So sorry, Cam. I didn't think it was cringe. I just read it in a cringy voice. That was on me. I just checked and I was curious, and apparently Boots also. So this is a revelation. Boots were the original meal dealers.
See, do they have Boots in Canada? That's another question for James.
Oh yeah, what do you have Boots? Do you know Boots, James? It's a chemist. Yeah, let us know if you have Boots.
A chemist that sells lunch.
I think
that makes sense.
I think that's going to be a very foreign concept. So you can get perfume, condoms, and a meal deal. That's Boots. So for snack, it very much comes down to personal choice. You think ultimately the best snack is a brookie?
Oh, definitely, yes, 100%.
Okay, well, I'm happy to go with you. I want to try this brookie. I'm fairly flexible. I think the snack is the thing I change up most in terms of my meal deal selection. Let's move on to the next question. Meal deal drink. And so to open the floor, Joe Wells.
This is the one I feel least strongly about, if I'm honest. Apart from my very strong feeling about water, you shouldn't have water. I will sometimes get a Red Bull, partly because of the optimization thing, and it just seems like a kind of maverick thing to do. Probably some Dr. Pepper I would go for would be my usual choice. Certainly, most of them I'm getting a meal deal on the train home from a gig, so I don't want anything too caffeinated. So I go over the Red Bull and have some Dr. Pepper, or Daddy P as they call it.
A bit of Daddy P. There was a very common answer on Twitter. The two main answers were Pepsi Max and Dr. Pepper for the drink.
Obviously, it's not an Iron Brew.
Yeah, Cam says Dr. Pepper or Pepsi or Iron Brew, something nice and fizzy. I think you do want is, as you say, definitely don't get water. I think a smoothie maybe is the least fizzy thing you could acceptably have.
Yeah, I always think smoothies it's like a meal in itself, isn't it? It's not a. So when I'm going to Boots, I'm at Waterloo going to Boots. That's because I've chosen to be a bit healthier. I'm not going to, I'm going to go to Boots. The smoothie that's one of the things that tricks you into thinking is healthy, but really it's just full of sugar. So I'm usually going to go for a diet drink.
That's fair. And I would have I could be with you on that as well. Like I'd try and get Dr. Pepper Zero if that's an option. Sorry to come back to the snack question, but Sanchez said that brookies are dry. Your favourite snack, the brookie, is dry.
Oh, he's talking absolute shit again, isn't he? Probably when Sand goes to Co-op, they go, "Oh, Sanchez, there, get the dry brookies out." Yeah,
that's actually. Brookies, you are wrong, Sand. You've just been racially profiled. Yeah, you walked into the shop and then the people have been like, "Oh God, it's him." Get the dry brookies out, as Joe said. Sorry to break this news to you. We have an answer to the pharmacies question. James says, "Our pharmacies generally don't sell food other than packaged food. Boots as a chain doesn't exist here. The largest is Shoppers Drug Mart." That sounds very clinical, doesn't it? Shoppers Drug Mart. They do sell mail order cannabis, so that's different.
Wow.
Mail order cannabis. Yeah, that is interesting.
Well, yeah, would you want to live in a country that has legalized cannabis or one which has meal deals? That could be next week's question. Which is better?
Cannabis or meal deals anytime. I would also go for meal deals, I think. Just because as a white man, cannabis is pretty much legal to me anyway. What
do you think that like the kind of late Beatles and stuff like that would be like if instead of doing drugs, they were on the meal deals?
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds actually spelt out a lunch, snack and drink. Lunch, snack and drink.
Oh, that is good. Good work, Andrew.
Thank you. Oh,
come on.
it was turning. The wheels were turning.
Lunch snack. That is beautiful. That's been my highlight of today is lunch snack and drink.
Thank you, Joe. So some of the drink options coming through, a bottle of fruit juice or an Oasis, says Jack. Perhaps controversially, considering our fizz comment from earlier. Danica says iced coffee. I wouldn't personally go for an iced coffee. Are you an iced coffee fan?
It is filling. Anything milky is going to be filling. I mean, I can't remember if I discussed this on air before you, but my wife has tricked me into becoming lactose intolerant because she's gone vegan.
Yeah.
And I am not vegan, but because like I make dinner, I'd just make dinner that she can eat because then we can both eat it. And I had yesterday, I was like, I really fancy like a pasta bake, so I made us 2 separate meals. And this morning, I thought I was going to die, and I think it's because I have eaten loads of cheese. I haven't eaten cheese in a month and a half.
That is interesting. Humans and cats are the only 2 mammals, I believe, that aren't lactose intolerant as adults.
That aren't lactose intolerant.
Yeah, so lots of other animals become lactose intolerant once they've come off their mother's milk.
Oh, I see what you mean. Right.
Humans and cats.
Lactose intolerance in other countries is very high. It's only in the West where people drink a lot of milk. But because there's that Chris Rock routine about how they like lactose intolerance is like a white person problem, and they don't have lactose intolerance in Africa, but actually the opposite is true. There's lots of lactose intolerance in Africa.
That is a good point. You should. Have you seen Jim Jeffries' new special, Intolerant?
No, I haven't.
It's not great. Very.
Anybody watching? I think he's really good.
I think he's a very good comic as well, but it was a lot of really tired observations, and like one of them was like, I'm lactose intolerant, but I eat cheese anyway, and it's just like everyone's done that, mate. You know, I don't want to.
I think he's wonderful.
I know.
I think he's inspiring and not at all a lazy misogynist. I think that he's brilliant.
His cover machine stuff was amazing. I just think, for me personally, this special missed the mark. Dad says, I get the Red Bull thing because often you can get a bigger Red Bull in the meal deal, and then it's about but always sugar free.
Red Bulls are extortionate. That's almost the cost of the meal deal just in the drink.
Oh yeah, and then if you get a £3.20 sushi and a £3 Red Bull, and then I think the most expensive snack is probably like £1.50. You're looking at £7.50, £8 worth of value. Although I agree, I'm against meal deal optimization. Just get what you want. That is good. That is good.
It's a factor, isn't it? Though there's lots of different factors that come into play. Obviously one of them is what things you like the most, but I think that the value is for me a big part of it is just like the physical mass of the food that I'm getting. That's part of it. I want the food to weigh the most calories for the least amount of money. That's what I'm after.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Sam says Oasis is just squash, and James has said he would rather have cannabis because you can still buy a meal at a restaurant as intended.
With respect, I don't. The meal deal is such like an incredible. I think describe it if you've never heard of it before, it just sounds like a stupid thing if you can get a sandwich in but it's so much more than that. It's part of our culture. I think when I buy a meal deal, I feel proud to be British, more so than anything, more so than watching Shakespeare or anything like that. I buying a meal deal, I think that is a cornerstone of British culture.
100% agree. I really think it is an important part of British life, and there's almost a certain nostalgia to kind of school, going out in school, and well, for me anyway, because we had to eat lunch on school premises up until sixth form, and then sixth form we go out to town, and that kind of meal deal really represented some independence for me. Going buying my own, yeah. So I with all due respect, James, we'd rather have meal deals than cannabis. Say no to drugs, kids. Oh, it looks like you're going to say something. Sorry.
No, sorry, I was waiting for you to say something.
So let's finish up the drink debate. We're going to say Pepsi Max, Dr. Pepper kind of generally wins out. Something fizzy, preferably sugar-free. And otherwise, we're going to move on to the final question. Some would say is the most important part of the meal deal, the meal deal main. So, Joe, what are you having?
I do like the 3-bean chili wrap. They're coming very strong for me. I do also. I mean, the thing now we're talking about booze. There's so many great options. I do like the pesto pasta salad as well. I enjoy that a lot. Probably one of those two. I enjoy a cheese and onion sandwich, but it's not expensive enough to feel that I can justify it. I feel like I want to get something a little bit more bang for my buck.
Yeah, I respect that. Yeah, I like a pesto pasta as well. On the whole, what you're going to have a pasta, a wrap, or a sandwich, or something different even?
What am I doing after it? So if this is train home from London, I probably would I'd have to get the pasta because I can sit on the train.
Yeah.
I think if I'm walking around, I'm going to want to eat something. I want the wrap. You know, if I'm walking through, if I'm on my way to a gig, I'm walking through London, I'm going to want the wrap. You know, crisp or something like that, or the drink. But yeah, if I can sit on the train and enjoy it properly, then I'm going to go for the pesto pasta.
I can see your logic. I'm going to be. I think this is the most obnoxious thing I do in my life. Is I do walk and eat the pasta pots.
Do you?
Yeah, I
well.
Sorry.
Not with a drink as well. That's too much going on.
I was about to say I was famous for it. No, I wasn't famous for it. Quite often when I was walking into
do you know Andrew White? I don't think I know him. What Andy White, the Northern? No, Andrew White. He's he can carry a pasta pot and drink Pepsi. Oh yeah, the Andrew. Yeah, no, I know him. Yeah, yeah. Sorry,
I wasn't famous for it, but I quite often managed to carry my pasta and my drink and my snack and walk to the school. I felt quite smug when I did that.
Right.
But yeah, preferably I would go for a pasta as well. Cam says Tesco cheese triple. What are the 3 different cheeses? I know there's like a kind of I'll look it up.
There's cheese and tomato in there, isn't there? And I don't like tomato. But if we have a second wave and go into lockdown again, I will come out of that lockdown loving tomatoes.
Fair. That's what you're going to have instead of olives. It's going to be your new.
Yep. Going to be a cheap things.
So it's I think it's red Leicester and tomato, cheddar and pickle, and there's a kind of a cheese and oniony paste thing.
The cheese and oniony paste thing is good.
Yeah, cheese and onion paste is much.
Cheese and pickle. You get cheese and pickle.
I like a cheese and pickle sandwich from Tesco.
Sorry.
I like a cheese and pickle sandwich from Tesco.
Oh, I love pickle. Yeah. Right, we've got a big Branson I get through quickly.
I just want to recommend if you're on YouTube after this is finished, go type in Andrew White cheese and pickle review. Is one of my favorite YouTube videos I've ever done, and it's me and Henry reviewing cheese and pickle sandwich from Tesco's. I would say it's art. The kind of thumbnail is me and Henry, and then there's a cheese emoji, and then an ampersand, and then there's Pickle Rick from Rick and Morty, and it says review, cheese and pickle review. Go check that out.
But don't do it now though. Keep watching this.
Yeah, please stay online. Tesco pasta pots are class. Hoisin duck wrap or bacon and egg sandwich. Not a big fan of the pasta pots. Why don't you like the pasta pots? I think they're a really solid option.
Tesco did a very, very weak cheese and tomato pasta pot, and I think that's given a bad name to pasta pots. It had a weird, like, kind of slightly like acidic taste. I don't know what it was about the pasta sauce. It really didn't work, and I made the mistake of getting that a couple of times because I forgot how bad it was. So
it's not good, is it?
But like a good pesto pasta from Boots.
I like a pesto pasta. I prefer the pastas that come in like the square pots. You know, the kind of They're better to me. Oh, while we're on the subject of pasta pots that don't come with a fork can get in the bin.
Yes. If you ever like got on a train or something with like you bought a yogurt in the meal deal, that's something which is good in the meal deal. Yogurt.
Oh yeah.
And I've done that where I've got like a Muller corner, and I had some. I remember having some gum, like a gum wrapper, and I have to kind of fashion a spoon out of that to try and eat my yogurt with.
We're just getting a call. I'll just take this.
Okay.
Hello, who's this?
Who's this?
This is Andrew White and Joe Wells.
Hello. What a greeting that is.
Well, good evening.
Yeah, it would be a good evening, wouldn't it?
How are you? Who is this?
This is Henry.
Oh, hi, Henry.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm very cheery.
What are you calling for, Henry? How you doing?
I'm not so cheery myself, mate. Well, I say mate.
Why, mate? Why? What's wrong?
Can you stop calling me mate, please? I'm not sure about that anymore.
No, I wasn't calling you a mate. I just said, although I still think you're my mate, but we'll come to
His
that.
heart is broken. Andrew, what have you done?
I was quoting you saying mate. So what's the issue?
Well, I just saw yesterday when the announcement went out for Pulse of the Nation, whatever it's called, this week. There was no guest announced, so there I was sitting by my phone all night, all day, just waiting for that message to drop from you to say, "Hey mate, you were such a smash hit last series. Gonna get you on again. How do you feel?" It wasn't forthcoming, and then I saw that Joe Wells tweeted out that he was going on, and then that's where the penny really dropped of where our relationship stands at the moment, and where I stand amongst your peers, seemingly a lot lower than I originally thought.
Oh, were you not watching the Everton game tonight?
I would have dropped it in a heartbeat.
Ooh, really? I'm so sorry. I didn't realise.
I don't want to.
Sorry, Joe Wells would like to say something to you.
I don't want to make it any worse, but I actually said that I was busy today, and Andrew was like, please, can you do it? I can't find anyone else. No one else is available. And it would have really helped me out if you've been available to do it. I thought you were great on the last show. I've rewatched it both times.
Likewise, Joe. Likewise. I mean, you're a very talented comedian yourself. I just assumed, I've known Andrew for 10 years now, so I assumed maybe I'd get the call in front of you. But maybe I overestimated our level of friendship.
On the phone yesterday, he was going, "I've got no one else. No one else is available."
I wasn't saying that.
No one else. Wow.
Oh, mate, please don't watch back the first 5 minutes of this show. We slag you off a bit.
Are you serious?
Yeah, don't watch it back, bro.
He was really saying, and I was trying to stop him, Henry. I was going, that is unfair. He is good. He's really funny, and I liked his episode. And Andrew, it was nasty what you were saying, Andrew.
I didn't think it would get repeated to him.
Oh, that's ridiculous. It's horrible. I always catch up. Even when I watch, I catch up. I rewatch. I think, Andrew, let me tell you this. I've got some statistics with me. I've got my papers with me right now.
Go on.
Do you know, this is the opportunity you missed out on. Do you know how many views your Series 1 episode with Joe Wells got? Take a guess.
36.
Ballpark figure.
36.
How many? 36. No, it was actually 12.
Really?
Okay. Do you know how many views my episode in Series 1 got?
36.
24,000. What's funny?
That is quite a lot more.
I TikToked it, mate. I TikToked it.
You TikToked it?
I TikToked. So there was an hour-long show. I did 60 TikToks. You know?
Yeah, I'm listening. 24,000
views concurrent, I believe is the word.
Oh, so all together?
Well, no, that's not the word, is it? Total. That's what I meant. Yeah. Total views. 24,000. Some of them only got 5 views, when you were talking. But when I was doing my jokes, but one of them got 10,000 views on its own.
Wow.
That bit about the tomato on the pizza, that classic bit.
Yeah, I remember it. It was in the highlights package from Series 1.
Well, exactly. So I can only expect. I thought it was going to get more, but there we go. So I'm just saying. You've got 6 people watching now. It was 5 before I showed up. That could have been exponentially larger.
Well, while you're on the phone,
You
then
should have heard the things he was saying about you, Henry. It was so unacceptable. Do you know what he was saying? Henry can't even hold all the bits of the meal deal in his hands while he's walking.
Oh my God, he did. Well, and he knows I'm self-conscious about that.
I know. I said that. I said that's unkind.
well, I'm really sorry. Well, while you're on the line, can you run us through your ideal meal deal?
I mean, I will, but I'm directing this solely to Joe. I'm not talking to you.
Okay, I'll butt out.
Joe, can you ask me the question, please?
Hi, Henry. What is your ideal meal deal? And also tell me which supermarket or Boots you would be buying it from.
Hi, Joe. That's a great question. I'm a big fan, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I'm a fan of you too.
Oh, thanks so much. So my ideal meal deal, if I'm just being a regular Stephen going into town, I'll go to Tesco. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Hold on. Sorry, my dad was trying to phone me, but I've got more important things to do. Oh well, whatever. Don't care about that. Well, look, before I was really interrupted. If I'm going to Tesco's, I love nothing better than a chicken and bacon mayo wrap. And with that, I normally tend to go towards a Ribena or a Coke. And then for my crisps, I'll have a Doritos or a pickled onion Monster Munch. However, I will say, when I'm at my university, they have a lovely chicken and lettuce, I believe, gyros, which is a Greek type of wrap, and that's excellent. But that is £3.50 rather than £3. So, you've got to balance it. What do you feel about that, Joe? Would you like a gyros? You ever had Greek food? You like Greek fare?
Do you know what I do? I love olives. I don't know if you like olives.
A bit sour. What are bitter? They're a bit bitter for me.
Oh no, I like them. The trick is, you got to just force yourself to eat a few.
Okay.
If you don't think you like olives, you just eat them, and then you'll start to like them.
Do they not make you thirsty, olives? I've heard on the grapevine, or on the olive vine, I should say.
I've been out with it. Yeah. Have to drink with it.
What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, Joe, I've got a proposition for you.
Okay.
I mean, this is my show, but
Shut
yeah.
up.
Sorry,
Shut
go
up.
on, carry on.
I've had
I'll agree to it beforehand, and then you tell me what it is.
So, Joe,
Okay.
go on.
Okay, so my idea is a new invention. It's my new show, Beat of the Country, which will be premiering next Monday at 7. And I'm going to be hosting some of my comedian friends. We're going to talk about what's happening, the biggest topics of debate, and we're just going to shoot the shit, man. And I was wondering, do you want to be my first guest?
I'd absolutely love that. I think that'd be wonderful.
What do you think? What do you think about it as an idea? I don't think it's been done before.
I think it's it's been done, but it's never been done well, and it's I think it's a great idea. I think with someone like you, Henry, at the helm, it will really fly.
With your enterprise, your pioneering skills, your comedy razzmatazz, I think we can go far, Joe.
Thank you.
Well, I think you're a pair of Judases, and I'll discuss this with you later, Henry. You'll be hearing from my lawyers.
Henry, I didn't ask.
Bye-bye. Henry Futcher there, unfortunately. So, Neil Dillmain, sorry, that's really taking the wind out of my sails, actually, Joe, and I'm a bit disappointed that you...
Andrew, that I was just saying that to keep him happy, because I'm scared he's got a violent streak.
He has got a violent streak, famously.
Yeah. I had to say those things.
He's a really bad person. I don't know why I'm friends with him. Andrew with the stealth finger. I assume that's the oomph. I can't imagine what else a stealth finger would be. I assume you mean the hammer.
Just imagine what else a stealth finger could mean, though.
I mean, I think we're all imagining what a stealth finger could be.
Okay.
But Danica says she will remain loyal to Andrew. Thank you, Crumb. I appreciate that very much. So yeah, apparently next Monday there's going to be competition, and it's going to be my last Pulse of the Nation for a while, so that's really upsetting.
You can't do more Otherwise, he's going to think that he's driven you out.
You know what? Because this was going to be a 10 episode series, and I decided to call it a little bit earlier, just at the end of July, just because I got some stuff going on in August, and I'm tempted to extend it one extra week, just because I do want to get Henry back on at some point. But you know what? Now he's upset me, so
yeah, don't give him the satisfaction.
I refuse to. Yeah, I refuse to. So meal deal main. Final answer. Best meal deal main.
Oh, I'm going to stick with the 3 bean wrap.
Three bean wrap. Nice. Yeah. I'm going to go for a pasta pat. a pasta pot. Either sun-dried tomato and feta or pesto. A pesto pasta pat. James said the stealth middle finger. That's what he meant by the stealth finger.
Oh, did you do a cheeky one of them?
I didn't. Not intentionally. I must have done that subconsciously. But yeah, okay. So we're going to go for that. Thank you everyone for joining us today. So just to kind of discuss what is happening in Pulse Nation, next week is going to be the last episode of this series. I don't know when or if there will be a series 3. I definitely want to bring it back for some specials. Like I want to do a Halloween special and a Christmas special, but I don't know whether we'll return for a regular series this year. Thank you so much, everyone that has tuned in. Let me know what you think. I might develop a different live stream format. What do you think? Would you be up for doing a different live stream format, Joe?
Yes.
Yeah. So I might develop that. Not that I really love Pulse Nation. I love how many people tune in and the kind of regular audience we've developed. But yeah, I think it'd be nice to kind of experiment with something different. So next week will be the last Pulse Nation for a while. It won't be the last ever. Like there's definitely going to be specials. I just don't know if there's going to be a series 3. If you've enjoyed any of the last 13 episodes of the Pulse Nation, you can donate to the show if you go to the link in the description, which is jokepit.com/comedians/Andrew-White. You get this page up, and then if you click in this little corner where it says donate, you can donate to the show any amount from 50p upwards. We really appreciate any support you can give us. But for now, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Joe Wells. Is there anything you want to plug before we go off the air?
I've got a special on YouTube, or a recording of a Fringe show. Yeah, just go to my Twitter, on my Twitter to do that.
Yeah, go check out Joe on Twitter, and as he said, he has a very good special on YouTube. Is that the I Hope I Die Before I Start Voting Conservative one?
It is, yes. It's called I Hope I Die Before I Start Voting Conservative. It is about how we become more right-wing as we get older. So
go check out Joe's comedy and support him. He's got a podcast, the Emergency Mixtape Podcast. He's very funny on Twitter. He's generally a lovely person. But for now, that's it from Joe. That's it from me. And we'll see you all again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.